to the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world show made for the fans by a fan. I'm your host, as always, Richard Tiemann. This is the award-winning fan show, live and on location, with one of the first big-name guests the fan show ever had. He had never been to Spokane before, and this is his second time. He's back for seconds. Steve Rannazzisi, welcome back.
Thank you very much for having me. Yes, this is my second time, both on the podcast and in Spokane.
I'm 2 for 2.
Yes, consistency.
Like consistency is key, right?
Uh-huh.
So, how you been? Like, what's new with you? What's the life of Steve Rannazzisi?
I've been great. I think I'm going to become a professional golfer.
Hey, there you go.
I fell in love with golf, and I think I can make the senior tour. I got 9 years. That's number one for me right now. That's what I got going on in my mind. Every time I'm out there, I'm like, this is it. I'm going pro. Now, granted, I've never shot under 80, but it's going to happen, and then it's just going to be a steady, right, boom, 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 right to the tour.
Well, that's that consistency we were talking about. If you
exactly.
stick with it, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what's new with me personally. Professionally, I've been on tour. I started a podcast since the last time we've seen each other. The podcast is called Hear Me This Book, where I sit down with people who have their favorite book, which I've never read because I haven't read really any books. I'm not a well-read person. And they kind of tell me about it and why they read it, and we break it down and sort of that way. You learn a little bit. It's like a small book report. You're not going to get smarter, but you'll probably laugh a lot. and then I did Curb Your Enthusiasm last year, which was a total joy to be. Yeah.
You said you couldn't give a lot of spoilers, but
yes, it was amazing. Yeah. And so
about.
now it came out. And so they're starting to shoot again. So you never know. You never know. Could the chef be back? Perhaps. We'll see. So yeah, that's what's new with me.
We got you in Spokane for a couple of nights.
Yes.
A few shows. Always good to have you back. It's always a laugh. I still laugh every time, and especially recently. I don't know if you follow professional wrestling at all, WWE.
I don't. I kind of fell off wrestling in the high school years, so that's like the mid-'90s for me. But I was completely this last 3 months with the Ric Flair documentary and then the Andre the Giant one.
Good, yeah.
Kind of all my memories came flooding back. So
I haven't seen the Andre the Giant one, but that Ric
awesome.
Flair one was good.
Both of them are fantastic.
So this year they do the Hall of Fame every year.
Okay.
And they have a celebrity wing. And this year, Kid Rock got inducted.
Perfect.
And so every time I saw that, I was like, I remember Steve's story about...
my encounter with Robert James Ritchie. You know, I haven't seen him since, but I do... I talked to Chris Porter, who was the connection between the two of us in my story. And, he seems like a really lovely guy. Even when he's on Stern, I listen, and he's like, it's nice dude. That was all me. I can give no blame to Mr. Kid Rock Hall of Famer 2018.
It was probably one of the best stories ever, though, just because you went into it talking about how when you go out somewhere or to a party, you don't want to be a certain guy, and then it ends up being you at the end.
It ended up being me at the end, yeah. Yeah, you don't want to be the kind of person that's just the hanger-on clinger, and then that's exactly what I ended up becoming.
But
unbeknownst to me.
You got a great story out of it. I mean, that's like yours and yours alone.
Totally worked out. Completely worked out to my benefit in the long run.
So every time that I see like a tweet or something from Kid Rock, I look for punctuation. I'm just like, is he getting the habit of using punctuation yet?
I know.
Are we at that level? Like
that's the thing. It's like you say to yourself, this man took the time out to make that extra step. That's how serious he is about me being really, really a bad person to be around. Yeah, it was gosh, crazy. I haven't had many run-ins like that since. I've been trying to limit myself to embarrassment like that. You have to try. Can't go crazy every time.
Well, obviously, you were new to tour life last time. You were talking about how maybe you'd hop on a bus and go around. Like, how do you like tour life now, looking back?
Oh, I mean, for me, I'm blessed in the sense that I can kind of pick and choose some cities here and there and work it out. I'm not like a slave to whatever is open. So, but yeah, it can be a grind. This past, like from January to now, it's been really great because I got to take my family on a couple trips. We did some ski stuff, and then I did some other things with other comedians backed up weekends. So if you could break it up like that and kind of manage it that way, you got to have fun on the road. Otherwise, it literally becomes a job where you just sit in your hotel room all day and then wait for the shows at night. And that could be dangerous. So I try to, like I said, I play golf. I try to go to football games. Whatever I can do to keep myself active, that's the best version of me on the road.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
Now, you talk about, sort of the mundane of your job, the hotel rooms, the flights, everything like that. So, as a comedian who is a storyteller, do you find yourself kind of venturing out and seeing if there's a story that you can have happen that you'll use, like, in your next bit? Like, are you adventurous like that?
Well, I'm becoming less a little bit and a little bit more scared. Mostly because I have kids, and I'm like, well, if I go on this little adventure for this story, this bit, and then daddy gets killed, is that really worth it? So no, I mean, look, as far as like, okay, airports and all that stuff, you can kind of just sit there, and I keep my headphones in all the time, but sometimes the music's not on.
That's how I do it.
And you can just kind of be around and listen to people and listen to their crazy. I mean, people will give you everything. And there are times when I'm like, I turn it off and I just don't want it. But I when I want to, and I can kind of be a voyeur when in those very public social places. So that's how I kind of still, people are crazy and they don't care. They will say anything. So even if you want to start to talk to them and engage, they'll answer questions for the most part. But yeah, I've gone on less adventures, so to speak. I think a Black Diamond skiing this year was my biggest adventure. I accidentally went down a Black Diamond with Ari Shafir, and I was like, oof, slow this pace down.
So clearly professional skier is not in your future. Golf, though, is.
Cautious and steady down the slope. Is that a category that I would win that category?
I think that's the green square.
Yeah, blues. That's what I do.
Okay,
I'm a blue guy. Yeah.
I will tell you from my experience with traveling, because I've done a lot in the last 2 years. The airport are the stories that you want. The Greyhound station are the stories that force themselves on you and find you. I don't know if you've ever done Greyhound. I had to this last year because my ride from where I was at to the airport I was going to fell through last minute, and I had to hop on a Greyhound. Luckily, it was only an hour and a half, but it's more than enough for me.
Yeah. What cities was it from?
From Greensboro, North Carolina to Charlotte, North Carolina.
Okay. A North Carolina Greyhound. Yeah.
Yeah, probably even worse, right? I mean, you look at the U.S. and you're like, let's pick the worst spot. There it is.
I'm going to Charlotte next month, and I haven't been to Greensboro, but yeah, I mean, I guess you couldn't rent a car? All right. Yeah, what the bus is just...
They were out that weekend because they wanted, because I called, and it's like they all had big SUVs and stuff.
Got it.
And I'm just like...
I'm a mass transit guy. I'll take a train. If I'm on the East Coast and I'm doing like DC, Philly, I'd rather take a train than fly.
That and, with how last minute it was, I mean, to rent a car, I go through Enterprise, they charge you an extra fee to drop it off somewhere you didn't pick it up.
Yeah.
So the pricing and everything just worked out better for Greyhound. I mean, I don't know what kind of price I would put on my life just yet, but I feel like maybe I should up the value more than what a Greyhound ticket is for that particular
I like Enterprise too. You know why? They hire the most college graduates. Now,
I did not know that.
That sounds generous as a company, but it also benefits me because a lot of college kids watch the league. So when I get to that counter, bingo, daddy's getting an upgrade.
Last time we talked, you had probably the single best quote that I've ever had on the show.
Oh, boy.
It was that
I just shit my pants?
No, even better. 99% of the population doesn't know who you are. The other 1% yell and scream inappropriate things at you in public. And I wanted to know, has that changed at all? Are we to 98 and 2? 97 and 3% yet?
No, we're right around 98, 99% of people don't know who I am. The 2% to 1% are still as ravenous as ever. As ever. Yeah, I was just in the Mall of America a couple weeks ago, and you ever been there? It's massive.
I haven't. It's on my bucket list.
It's like all these different floors and stuff, but you can kind of see from floor to floor.
Yeah.
So for me, because I'm also performing, the comedy club's in the mall, the hotel's in the mall, my whole life is in this mall, then I'm like, okay, well, I don't really ever leave the mall, so people are now like recognize and see me every day. So as I walk around the mall, like people will yell Kevin from different floors down at me, or I'm constantly.
It's like an echo.
It was like just living in, like if you went to go paintball like to shoot paintball guns, but got locked in, and everyone was still going to continue to shoot paint. Like you would walk around and be like, "Hey, I don't want to." All right, I'm still going to get shot with paintball. That's how it is for me, especially in gigantic spaces like that.
So you mentioned college kids as a demographic. Is there a city or state that is a huge league fan that you've noticed in your travels?
I mean, football cities for the most part
I can see that, for sure.
Philadelphia, Denver. Yeah, I mean those are big. Seattle. I'm trying to think of where the people are like. Philly's like pretty rabid and can be gross. Like they would yell inappropriate things. Boston will yell whatever they want.
That doesn't surprise me on that one.
Show me that pretty cack. Like they'll just whatever it is. They don't care. They're savages. So yeah, people that have I guess cities with football teams. And have no morals.
So the whole East Coast.
Yeah, kind of the East Coast.
You're a West Coaster through and through.
Yeah, LA doesn't really give a shit. They like the comedy of it, but there's no Rams fans that are coming up to me going crazy about it. So, not yet, at least.
Well, it seems like lately there's been a lot of things that have cashed in on nostalgia. Roseanne just made a comeback. I don't know if you saw that. Apparently it's better than ever, which I didn't know
great.
could be a thing.
It was really good.
I didn't watch Roseanne back the first run, but my parents did, so I felt like that was an early warning sign. But you guys, the league just ended a few years ago. Did you talk before it ended about maybe we'll come back to this in a few years? Has it come up now with all the reunions happening?
Not really, no. We just had dinner, all of us, last week. Mm-hmm. And, no, there's never been talk. When we have dinner, it's always catching up on each other's lives. I mean, pretty much personally, because professionally everything's sort of out there. So, catching up with each other. And then, just sort of random, we kind of go over our most random league run-ins with fans and stuff, and then and we talk about how much fun the show is. And look, we talk about how much fun the show was to do. It was a blast to do. I don't ever think it would ever come back as far as a sitcom again. If the league cast went to the Super Bowl or for some sort of short movie or something like that, I could maybe see something like that happening. But it's I don't know. To me, I'm I would. Those guys, this show was a wonderful experience, but it's very specific. It's married to football, so it's got to be related to that. And so, I mean, I don't ever think that we would ever come back in the same way we were once on television as far as a TV show, episodically again. So, but we'll see, Yeah,
I mean, it's stuff for the future. I know that tomorrow we've got Super Troopers 2 coming out.
Yeah.
Those guys, very cult, classic group following like you guys had with the league. And I remember when they initially started the campaign for that, it was like a Kickstarter or GoFundMe, and they shattered what their bar was, and they were really surprised. And then you had, I mean, so bad example, but Entourage was a great series, and then they did the movie a year or two later, and people thought that was a bad move on their part. But I mean, I could see there being a league movie, and you guys get together, and I don't know how you write 90 minutes to 2 hours of the league solid like that. But
well, our creators Jeff and Jackie Schaefer, they've done movies before, both together and separately. So, it's not beyond them to do a movie. I have no idea. I haven't spoken to them. I'm sure that Jeff, every single time one of these ridiculous things happens in the NFL, just sits there and literally writes 100 jokes on a piece of paper.
Oh, I don't doubt
things
it.
Would Andre walk into a bar and take a knee? Probably.
Oh my God, that is so good.
Just things like that constantly are going around in his mind. So where he puts those ideas, I have no idea. But if he put it into a final draft version of a movie, it wouldn't surprise me.
What do you think Kevin McArthur would think of Mitchell Trubisky?
The perfect. Kevin McArthur is Mitchell Trubisky. He really is. He's supposed to have greatness, or in his mind he has greatness, but the product is not necessarily probably the best version of himself. So
his supporting cast isn't that
yes,
great.
exactly.
It's not as great as him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he'd probably that's. But Mitchell Trubisky's the perfect character, the perfect quarterback for the league version of the Bears.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I could totally see that. But there's so many things that happen in the NFL that I think, how would the league poke fun at this? And you're right. Like, have you thought of any jokes, beyond, would Andre take a knee in the middle of the bar or anything else like that?
Of course, yeah.
Sanchez getting popped for PEDs. And
I mean, for us, it's like I feel like we went through like a lot of off the field stuff. I mean, as far as like the lockout, and then a lot of the off the field like stuff with players and stuff. Ray Rice and that situation.
Oh yeah, the replacement refs.
Yeah,
too.
the replacement refs. So it would be interesting to kind of, I mean, every time something comes out, we literally I have ideas. I'm sure everyone else does on the show. So yeah, that's not going to probably ever go away.
I feel like when Tom Brady's jersey got stolen after that Super Bowl, you guys would have been all over that. Somebody
Taco would have just shown up in his sold this to me for $10 on the street.
That is so great. Well, maybe the movie can be the league takes on the Super Bowl. I mean,
exactly.
If it makes
some
its
sort
way
of version of that, I would think would be great.
It's kind of your guys is like it was there the whole time, and
you
hinted at
maybe
it.
Not even necessarily tied to the actual fantasy part of football, because for us specifically, it's tough to get everyone's schedules together for those couple months when football's happening. So being able to have flexibility to do whenever we can clear out some time, that would be the best version of it, I think.
So last time we talked, you said that you were...
So you're going to write it then, basically, is what you're saying right now.
If you guys do it, I will write it. I don't know how I will write it, but I will write it because you guys did, training camp, combine, everything, and I feel Super Bowl is that swan song that you guys need for the league.
We'll see. You never know.
Last time we talked, you said you were taking kind of a cleanse from fantasy football.
Yeah.
How'd that feel? Refreshing? Was it refreshing?
It's been 2 seasons with the New York Giants, so you tell me how you think that I feel. When Odell went down last year,
was that it for you? You're like,
I then jumped into a suicide league, like one of those teams you got to pick leagues, like teams to lose every week. I jumped in I just started. Not gambling, but sort of playing for. I'm not watching the Giants anymore. Is what I'm saying. Like I'm more fantasy, like week to week stuff. I'm back in it.
So you're doing like the daily fantasy stuff.
I had to do. I was like,
in on.
Because I'm like, I've committed to this, and this is what I put my time into to watch this team just shit all over the field. I can't do it anymore.
Yeah, I don't.
I got to make everything interesting for me again. So I'm back.
I think at least for daily fantasy though, like if you needed to take like a week off, you could without.
Yeah, exactly.
Sort of
if it was a busy week or I had something coming up, I didn't have to partake in it. But I had to make Sundays interesting again. I also bought season tickets to the Rams, so that was fun. Just as a complete investment because I'm like I want to get into that new stadium. So I went to a couple Rams games. So that kind of made Sunday more fun too. Brought my kids to a couple, although the Coliseum's a hellhole. But when they move into that new stadium, it's going to be nice. But we went tailgating with a couple of friends of mine, comedians, Ari Shaffir and Steve Simone. And so that's those were fun. Those were good times. Did you tailgate? Tailgating's the best.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I have. So I'm a Niners fan. If you couldn't tell. And the last game that I went to was my first game at Levi Stadium.
Yeah.
And I went, and I have friends that I met the last year of the Candlestick season. And his name's Rick, and he is a phenomenal cook. I mean, when it comes to tailgating and grilling, the man knows his stuff.
Damn.
So we went, and we got there 3 hours early. I'm all dressed up. The parking lot is full, and all you can do is just smell just an aroma of delicious foods everywhere. I mean, it was that alone I think is worth tailgating.
See, we've never done it in a big parking lot thing. For the Coliseum down there, it's always it's just little parking lots here and there, 100 cars or 50 cars or whatever. So it's a little more camps here and there, but still, we don't have great food, but it's just nice to day drink, to be honest with you. 10 a.m. because that's where you got to leave at the games there in LA are 1 o'clock. We're the afternoon games in the East Coast, so we're up 10 a.m. Get to the stadium by 11. It's awesome.
Yeah, no, I think the West Coast does it right, except for I hate trying to wake myself up early for the morning.
Really?
Games,
For 10? You can't wake up by 10 o'clock in the morning? What the hell's wrong with you?
Here's my thing about it, is that I would much rather be able to sleep in on Sunday and wake up.
What is sleeping in, though?
Sleeping in is like...
How old are you?
31.
Yeah, that's why. Okay. Sleeping in is still the PM to you. When you turn... I'm 40. When you turn 40, sleeping in's 10. Like, even if tomorrow night I do 2 shows, I'll get home, like, by the time I go to sleep, it's 2. 10 a.m., I'm up.
Okay.
And that's sleeping in, because normally it's like 7.
Now, not to make excuses for myself, but I will say I can't watch all of my games from home. We get Seahawk games.
Yeah,
so I have to get up, shower, get dressed. I don't want to smell. I don't want to look bad. Go out, find a place to sit at an already crowded sports bar.
Got it.
And you've got, the breakfast menu, which is fine.
Well, then here's the deal.
But,
I'll cut. Don't shower. Don't smell. You'll get much. No one will want to be around you. You'll get a spot real quick. Boom. I'm like Shark Tank, problem solving for you.
Wow, that was. You're dropping knowledge right now. I'm speechless.
Just telling you the truth.
But my wife and I feel like we could stay up easier than we could wake up on a Sunday morning. Like, if we moved to the East Coast, 11 p.m.
So what do you want, games on 11 p.m.?
Until 11 p.m.? We're like,
Saturday Night Live football?
Yeah, sign us up for that.
Hey, why not? But trust me, if it makes money, Goodell will put it on the table.
It's so true. The schedule got released today.
I saw that.
I don't know if you picked out your favorite games for the Rams or the Giants yet.
The Rams, well, the Giants have, I saw the home games against, the Rams have a Thursday night finally because, first of all, that Coliseum is like a giant salad bowl with 100,000 chairs in the middle of the sun. So I was like, oh, maybe they'll have at least one Sunday night game or a Thursday night game. Nothing. Every game is noon, 1 o'clock. So you're just baking in the sun all day. But this year they have 2, I think, night games, and one of them is a Thursday night game. So I'm looking forward to that. I think it's I want to say that I might be wrong, but the Atlanta, the Falcons, I think is a Monday or a Thursday night game. So I'll go to that one.
That'll be a good matchup for sure.
Yeah, and just because it's at night, it'll be better climate wise. But I haven't really looked 100%. At like the teams and the matchups. I think we have like 3 games in a row at home in September, which is always great because the weather's perfect, and that's the tailgating season right there.
Yeah, I think that football's weather is perfect, especially for the teams down south because it's only getting cooler, or at least like you like to believe that's the case for areas like LA and Dallas. But then you get Green Bay, who once November hits, it's like, well, how deep's the snow going to be this time around?
And they love it.
They do.
That's why, as a Yankee fan, I'm not hitting the panic button yet because they really haven't played. I think they played like 2 or 3 games above 40 degrees so far. And this team, once June comes and the weather gets warm, oh my God, it's going to be epic to watch that team hit the baseballs out of the stadium.
Do you think baseball season goes too long? Like just like a month too long?
Yes, of course it does.
I mean, my God.
Who the fuck needs 161 of anything? 161 anything is too much.
Yeah.
162 games, 81 and 81. It's like, come on, dude. You can knock that down to a 120 game season, no problem.
Yeah.
Really could. Make spring training up. Keep it the same length, but just cut down the games, get them a little more warmed up, or maybe even add a week of spring training, and then hit the season running.
Yeah, I remember I watched a couple of playoff and championship or World Series games last year, and I was like, you can see his breath. Like, it's not like you have to look hard. You can see his breath is either out there on the mound because it's like 40 degrees.
Yeah, but then again, I don't know if anyone's ever would sign up to do that because revenue will go down significantly.
Yeah, you can't lose money in this world.
No.
You
gotta
make as much as possible and then some. Well, in regards to fantasy football, I've got this guy right here, which is the show's belt. But travels with me. It is made by the guys that sponsor my fantasy seasons each year. Mm-hmm. I had 2 leagues last year, a fan league and then one for the Arena Football League players and coaches that I met. But I really wanted to get a celebrity league going. So if you feel like you're ready to get back in the game, I would love to invite you to compete for a belt in my first ever celebrity league this year.
All right. How many other celebrities do you have?
You would be the first one. I'd have some phone calls and emails to make, but it takes that one, and then they all.
Well, here's the deal.
Here's from there. Okay.
You can totally put my name down as an interested member.
Okay.
When you get that thing together, give me a call or an email, and we'll go from there.
Okay.
All right?
That is a deal. I will make that deal.
Because I do get, once I say yes to someone publicly, then everyone thinks that it's okay to say yes, and then next thing I know, I'm getting like 1,000 invites. Yeah. And then when you say no to someone, they literally, it's like when you say no to someone, hey, would you like to be in my fantasy league? And you say, I'm sorry, no, thank you. They look at you like, how could you, like, you just like crapped on their family.
There's got to be like a certain level.
Is my family not good enough for you?
Of understanding.
No, 0%.
0% understanding on
pretty
that.
Much 0%.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's something.
Because the people that, like, especially online, like, they feel like, I'm going to go out and ask him. I bet you nobody does that. He'll never say no if I should really make this bold step. And much to the surprise, I can say no.
I liked the people that will try to do how many retweets for this, but then it took off. It was like a trend that you saw everywhere because one guy got a response from like his favorite player, and he got a signed jersey, and they're like, "Oh my god, it's that easy!" I mean, no, not really. Like they have to acknowledge your existence first, and
exactly,
then you can go from there. So back to golf because I'm excited now. I think that you, as a professional golfer, would be awesome. How'd you feel about the Masters?
I loved it.
Yeah?
I actually did a live stream call of it with my buddy Court McCowan for the All Things Comedy Network, and so I watched a lot of it with a couple, actually one professional golfer, Jason Gore, and a couple people, and so I'm just into the game. I'm into all the nuances and stuff, and so it was exciting. The Masters always is very tight. You know, it just comes, for the most part, unless Tiger runs away with it, but for the, that back nine on Sunday is always very interesting television to watch, and for me, I'm psyched. I'm actually going to the U.S. Open at Shinnecock in New York, so I'm going to go watch a couple rounds there. So yeah, I love it. It's just for me, it's my way to stay competitive and not get lose a tooth probably, not catch an elbow. I still love basketball. I coach my son's little league team. I love doing all that stuff, but I like to compete with myself and have a good day and be able to compete with other people, have a handicap, and not have to risk tearing my ACL.
I feel like that has so many stories in itself. You coaching a little league team, like how has your perspective changed on youth sports since becoming?
I did a whole bit about when I coached their t-ball team. My son wanted to wear a cape to practice, and then I let him, and then everyone started wearing capes. And then I tried to stop the cape thing, but I couldn't. And it was a whole thing. Other teams would wear cape. The league turned into a disaster. So now we're in minor level of baseball. So they pitch to each other, they steal bases and stuff like that. So it's a different version of chaos. But it does come. Yeah, now it's less about making fun of the players as much as it is making fun of the parents. The parents and umpires are nightmares.
I did a summer job as an umpire for a softball league here in Spokane.
Okay.
And let me tell you, your perception of what is important in life completely changes because, I'm way off from being a parent at that point because it's one of those things that it's a summer job. If you're a sports person, it's like, this will be easy, just read the rule book and just call ball or strike. Well, there are parents out there, man, that they believe that that's where they're going to get their big start. They're going to get interviewed by ESPN or Good Morning America and be like, I remember that day in the 10 to 12 year old softball league that was when they were going to be a star. And it's like, wow. So I don't know your run-ins with parents. I feel like they would probably be pretty cool with you being, a celebrity. But I don't know if that is an exception.
No, they don't care at all. Nobody cares. And so, parents are nightmares. Other teams' parents, just the difference. The umpires. I feel like for Little League, there's not one decent umpire in America. Not one. We either have guys that show up 20 minutes late. They're like, "Hey man, don't break my balls. It's my second job." They don't care. Or the guys who show up early, but then they want to make it about themselves. They're telling every kid to tuck in their shirt, and then they're going down. Every pitch, in between every pitch, they're giving life lessons, and they're I'm like, what are you doing? The reason why these kids can't throw strikes is because you're the human rain delay. You're stepping out every 2 seconds. They can't get a rhythm going. So that I feel like those are the two versions of umpires we have out in our league out in California. But I have the time. I can't do some games on the weekends to get good assistant coaches, but I enjoy doing it, and that's it's I have to hang with my son.
That's the important
better than
thing,
that. Yeah,
you think like it's good quality time? Like,
I hope so. For me, it is. I mean, I feel like it. It probably because it's not like one-on-one with him. It maybe doesn't register as hard with him, but I think maybe when he gets older, he'll go, "Oh shit!" Like my dad really was always there.
Yeah, unlike some dads who aren't there at all.
Yeah.
Anybody called you out for like favoritism, or you try to be pretty right down the middle about it?
I try. I mean, I actually think I'm harder on my son.
Ah, there you go.
Not harder, but like
character, right?
I just know I have a shorthand with him that I can get the message across to him, which sometimes sounds a little harsher than it does with the other kids. So that not harder, but I don't let him get away with anything else more than anyone else. I try not to, at least.
Well, I think going back to the league and as far as the whole reunion thing, I think that you guys should get together and crash a tailgate. Pick a primetime game and go and crash the tailgate. Go and invade the NFL Network set and be like, we're going to fill in for you guys tonight. Go ahead and take the night off. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of I mean, it would be fun to do something in the arena of like taking over like a broadcast of sorts. Yeah, I mean, like we did so much football for so many years. We went to the Super Bowl together like 4 years, I think, in a row, and we would always do the press row, and it was a nice thing when we get all together on the like if we did like a Sirius channel or something like that. We did the NFL channel with Rick Eisen a couple times, and yeah, it's fun to be able to because the sports guys. I mean, I know enough. Other guys on the show know enough. Other people on the show know enough to get through the sports stuff, but people are really interested in the comedy, and they're also interested in like the guest stars and the football players and how they reacted to being on the show. So it is fun when we get to do that kind of thing.
Well, how many nights are you in? What are the times people can come down here to Spokane Comedy Club and see you?
I am Thursday night, which is happening in like an hour or so.
Right now.
I don't know how quickly you're getting this on the air, but
it's live right now.
Oh, it is live right now.
It is live right now.
So I curse though. That's cool.
That's fine, man.
This is internet stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. All right, cool. Well, then if come now.
Yep.
And then, or if you can't make it tonight, then there's 2 shows tomorrow.
Okay.
And then there's 2 shows on Saturday night.
Perfect.
The times I'm not exactly sure of. Just come at 7:30. I'm not going to go on stage before 7:30. So, and there's also this thing called the internet.
You can always look up the info there.
Spokane Comedy Club.
Now, who do you have opening for you this time?
Don't know. I haven't met them yet. I didn't bring anyone this time because I am filming something and I get like skittish about. I don't want. No one this time.
Well, for the Celebrity League, I definitely want to invite Kyle Ray, who opened for you last time, because when he was on the show, he went and made this big deal about how it was his first time playing, and he went through and drafted the next best available, and he won, and he was like all, pounding his chest and puffing it out there. So I feel like he might need to be put.
Well, you can reach out to Kyle for sure.
I will. I'll be like, hey, if you're in, we can make this happen. We can have a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, cool.
One thing that I like to do on the show, if it's there for the nights that I do it, is that if there's a friend of mine whose birthday it is, I usually call them and see if they answer and do something funny when they answer. My friend Logan, who got me into my first fantasy league, his birthday's actually tomorrow, but he's a big fan of yours. Should we call him? Should we see if he
Go
answers?
for it.
Wish him a happy birthday?
Oh, yeah, sure. No worries. Oh, you're going to do it on speaker. Perfect.
I will. Let's see. Okay, we're going to call Logan right now. He's up in Alaska, so I don't know if he's going to get the best reception.
Up in Alaska. Wasilla?
Sedona.
No.
Let's see if he answers.
It's Canada.
Hopefully he does. It'd be funny.
There's no time difference.
What's going on, Richard?
Logan, happy birthday. Well, early, but still.
Yeah, that's all right.
So,
appreciate the call.
Yeah, I wanted to give you a call because I'm actually in the room right now with a guy who you're a big fan of, Steve Rannazzisi. He wanted to wish you a happy birthday, too.
What's up, Logan? Happy birthday, man.
Awesome, thank you.
No worries. Your friend's naked and he has me hostage here. So, look, this was part of my release negotiation. So, if you could just, go along with this would be great, man. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. He's weird like that. He does.
Oh yeah, I know. Where are you in Alaska?
Kenai Peninsula, just south of Anchorage, about 170 miles.
Oh, okay. I've been to Anchorage. Chukuk Charlie's or something. What's the name of that place?
Choku Charlie's?
Choku Charlie's, whatever that bar is. I did comedy there one time.
Yeah, it's a good spot.
Yep.
Well, now you got to go back.
Crazy.
I went ice fishing there too.
Yeah, you need to, if you like fishing, you need to come to the Kenai.
What are you doing up there?
July or August.
What do you do for a living?
Currently, I am a distributor for Red Bull.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
they probably need it up there.
Yeah. So I can help you make it through the night and give you good drink mix tips.
Or the day, when it's night day.
When it's night day, exactly.
Yeah.
You have been here.
Awesome, dude. Well, happy 13th birthday, and hopefully you have a great year, man.
I will, absolutely. I'm going to spend my night drinking some Jameson and enjoy the rest.
Can't go wrong there. Or you could.
You probably could go very wrong.
Yeah, very wrong.
Probably will at some point.
Well, Logan, I know that your birthday's not till tomorrow, but I couldn't pass up this opportunity to see if Steve and I could get you on the phone and wish you a happy birthday on the show and keep that tradition alive. But, hey, give your wife and your baby boy a kiss for us, and you have a great birthday tomorrow.
Awesome, I will do, and I appreciate the shout-out, guys.
All
Happy
right.
birthday, man.
Take care, Logan.
All right. Bye.
Well, I
Look at
appreciate
us
you
making
doing
dreams
that.
come true.
Yeah, that's like a Make-A-Wish right there.
Yeah. Hopefully Logan lives long enough.
Have you ever done one of those?
What?
A Make-A-Wish.
No. What wish would anyone ever... What would I be
To
a
hang
wish
out with
of?
the league, a day with the league.
I mean, we've done charity stuff where you like come to the red carpet, you get stuff like
okay,
that. But
fair enough.
no one. I don't think no one ever, God
nobody's
forbid,
dying
dying
wish.
wish to ever come hang out with us. And we would probably be like, I don't know why. No.
Well, I'm way out of the age bracket for Make-A-Wish, but should I come terminally ill, I will definitely shoot you an email and be like, hey,
Well, let us know. I'll round the troops up and
yeah,
we'll
let's
come
go
out and visit
tailgate. Let's
you.
go crash a tailgate
Yeah.
somewhere. Well, Steve, so glad to have you back.
No
2 for
problem,
2.
man.
Spokane welcomes you.
Thank you again
And,
for having me.
It is conditional if you will be in the first ever Celebrity League. So those of you listening
Use my
that want
name
to
as
hit up
bait.
Steve, you
Yep.
know, don't pressure him. This is a deal that we have handshaken, So.
Yes.
But thank you so much for being here. Can't
You're
wait
welcome.
to see your
Thank
set
you.
this weekend. And you're welcome back anytime, man. Really,
Thank
you don't
you. I
have to be in
appreciate
Spokane to come and talk football and nonsense.
Thank you.
All right, folks, that's going to do it. We'll be back next week with all new episodes of The Fan Show. So until next time, best of luck to you and yours. Go Niners, and it's all fun and games until you butt fumble. Good night, folks.
Do you remember the time that Mark Sanchez ran into his player's butt? That was funny sports.
Thank you for having me on the show, man. I love the Fan Show.